Hey everybody, Ryan Reel, Senior Residential Specialist with the Wanaba Real Estate Group. Wanted to talk with you really quickly today. We have the coronavirus, COVID-19 floating around. We're seeing what's going on in the stock market and the economy. We're hearing all these crazy things about a recession and a depression. Let's dig into that specifically with the housing market. Let's talk recession and what we're looking at. Let's get to it.
One thing I'm getting a lot of questions and concerns about is, if we are heading into a recession, does that mean we're going to have a housing crisis? So let's dig into that. Here's a quote from Bill McBride with Calculated Risk. With the sudden economic stop, and with many states shutting down by closing down schools, bars, and restaurants, my view is the U.S. economy is now in a recession. It started in March of 2020. And GDP will decline sharply in Q2, April, May, and June, as Goldman Sachs is forecasting. The length of the recession will depend on the course of the pandemic. So taking a look at the Goldman Sachs GDP forecast, 2 consecutive quarters of a decrease were basically there. So let's take a look at this quote from the Wells Fargo Investment Institute. We do not expect a repeat of the severe recession of 2008 to 2009 because the virus and oil shocks are not endemic to the financial system, but are rather external. Once the virus infection rate peaks, we expect a recovery to gain momentum into the final quarter of the year and especially into 2021. All right, so we can see we're pretty clearly in a recession here in Q1. It's going to get deeper as we get into Q2. It's a supply chain issue. As we head out of Q2 and into Q3 and 4, we are seeing predictions of strong growth with even further strong gains going into 2021. So what is the recovery going to look like? What is Q3 and Q4 going to look like? Again, the Wells Fargo Institute, we do not expect a repeat of the severe recession of 2008 to 2009 because the virus and oil shocks are not endemic to the financial system, but are rather external. Once the virus infection rate peaks, we expect a recovery to gain momentum into the final quarter of the year, especially into 2021. What does that mean? What does that actually look like in the real world? It looks like this. While COVID-19 is present, we're going to continue to see an economic slowdown. It's a supply chain issue. It's a service industry issue. Once we come out of this, we're going to return to normal and everything is going to be just fine. When this is over, we can go back out and play. There are a lot of people in this country all thinking the same way, and they're going to be returning to the market with a lot of energy. The airlines are going to come back. The food and bar industry is going to come back. The gyms are going to come back. Americans come back. That's what we do. So what about recessions in home equity? All right, here's a look at the last 5 recessions. 3 of those 5, home prices actually appreciated. 1980, 1981, and 2001. When we take a look at home equity positions, we've already discussed this. The strength of it and the far better position that we're in. There are no signs or indicators that we are showing the potential for a massive depreciation of home values in the United States. We are absolutely 100% respecting the social distancing policies that are in place. Our admin staff is currently working from home. The Ryan team agents, we're still here working for you. And we are absolutely making use of the technologies that are available, such as FaceTime, Zoom, Google Hangouts, and Skype. We're here. We're continuing to serve our clients. How can we be of service to you and your family? How can we help you?
All right, there you go. There's the information. Those are the real numbers when we're talking about the economy, the housing market, and a potential recession. All right, we have Goldman Sachs forecast. We also know that looking at the last 5 recessions that we've had, that does not guarantee a housing crisis. All right. So if you guys have any more specific questions, any concerns that are specific to you guys, would love to have an opportunity to address those with you. Call, text, or email. Would love to have that conversation and help out as much as we can. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Stay safe out there.
A very special thank you to Tom Ferry and Steve Harney for compiling the information for the conversation and for the graphics. Thank you, gentlemen.